वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम हरे कृष्ण. By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 46 slokas in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So that means we are going to finish the 6th chapter today. It has got 47 slokas, 47 verses. So in this chapter, lot of knowledge we gained about the mind. So the mind is very important for us to control our mind. So to make the mind as our best friend. So Krishna from the beginning, from the 5th sloka, 6th sloka onwards, from the 5th sloka onwards in the 6th chapter, Krishna is explaining about the mind. In the first 4 slokas in the 6th chapter, Krishna was explaining about the importance of this yoga. So when Krishna was explaining about the importance of yoga, he has to now explain about the mind. Because without mind, there is no yoga. Normally, in modern way, in general, people think that yoga means it is just doing some exercise for the body. But yoga means it is controlling the mind. So controlling the mind and making the mind as our best friend. So that is what called yoga. We already many times we discussed, we studied in the past that yoga means it is being equal in both success and failure. So that is what is called yoga. So yadagi nandriyartesu na karmasu anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudaga tadochyate. That's what we studied in the 6th chapter in the beginning. Yadagi na indriyartesu. Na indriyartesu means not after the material sense objects. Indriya artesu. Indriya means senses. Artesu means objects. So indriya artesu means sense objects. So yadagi na indriya artesu na karmasu. Karmasu means the activities. The activities which are meant to obtain the material sense objects. That's what na indriya artesu na karmasu. So yadagi na indriya artesu na karmasu anusajjate. So here na so anusajjate means who is na anusajjate, who is not attached. So na indriya artesu anusajjate na karmasu anusajjate. So that's what the meaning here. So in the 6th chapter, in the sloka number 4, we studied about it. In the sloka number 3, I believe, we studied about it. Yadagi na indriyartesu na karmasu anusajjate. Sarva in the 4, sloka number 4. So anusajjate. So that is yadagi na indriyartesu na karmasu anusajjate means one who is attached. So that means na indriyartesu anusajjate na karmasu anusajjate. So that means one who is not attached, one who is not engaged in the activities which are meant to get the material sense objects. One who is not engaged in the activities which are meant to accumulate the material sense objects. That's what yadagi na indriyatesu na karmas anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi. So he is known as a sannyasi who has renounced everything. So that means a person who is not attached to the material sense objects. So the activities which are related to obtaining the material sense objects. So he is the sarva sankalpa sannyasi. He has renounced everything, and at that point of time we can declare that yoga rudaga tadochyate. So he has achieved yoga. Yoga rudaga tadochyate. So yoga in the 2nd chapter we studied siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva. So siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So one who is equal in both success and failure, that equanimity is called yoga. So that happens here. Yadagi na indriyatesu na karmas anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudaga tadochade. So he has obtained yoga. So that's what Krishna is. So a person who is endeavoring, who is putting efforts to achieve this status is called a yogi. So who is a yogi? Yogi is a person who is endeavoring to control the mind, who has got the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and who is trying to control the mind, and he is called yogi. So when Krishna taught about this yoga, then immediately Krishna is teaching about controlling the mind in the 6th chapter. So controlling the mind, because Krishna said that the mind is the friend when it is controlled, best friend when it is controlled, and it is also the worst enemy if it is not controlled, if it is uncontrolled. So that way, Krishna is teaching us that yoga, we only when we control the mind, we will achieve yoga. So also we studied in one sloka, Krishna taught us that asamyatat mana yogo dusprapa iti me mati. So without controlling the mind, yoga is not possible. So now we understand the meaning of yoga very well. We understand how to achieve that yoga. So it's very simple, very easy to understand in Bhagavad Gita. So not getting disturbed by anything, being equal in everything. So not getting attached to the material sense objects. That means not getting disturbed by anything in this material world. So that status is called yoga. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasyan atmani tusyati sukham atyantikam yattat buddhigrahyam atendriyam veti yatra na chaivayam stitaha chalati tatpataha yam labdva cha param labam manyate na athikam tataha yasmin stitho na dukkena kurunapi vichalyate tam vidya dukkha samyoga vyogam yoga samjritam. So Krishna has explained the meaning of yoga in this slokas very, very clearly. That means finding happiness within ourselves. And sukham atyantikam yattat buddhigrahyam. So having achieved that happiness within ourselves, yam labdvacha param labam manyate na adhikam tadat. So after getting this happiness, after experiencing this happiness within ourselves by controlled mind, so one should think that there is no other happiness higher than this. Yam labdvacha param labam manyate na adhikam tadat. Yasmin sthito na dukkena. So even when we get some problems, even when we get some distress, we should not be disturbed. We should not be disturbed. So yasmin sthito, one should be situated in the same status. That's what yasmin sthito na dukkena gurunapi vichalyate tam vidya dukkha samyoga vyogam yoga samjitam. So that's what you need to understand, that you have come above everything in this material way and you have achieved the status of yoga. So that's what Krishna is teaching us about very clearly about the yoga. The meaning of yoga in the 6th chapter, we understand very, very clearly how to achieve that yoga, how to achieve. So it's only by controlling our mind. Without controlling our mind, it is not possible. But controlling our mind is the most difficult thing to do. Because in this material world, when we forget Krishna, when we don't remember Krishna, then our mind will be going after material sense objects, because the senses are so strong that they forcibly carry away the mind, even if we try to control them, even if we try to focus our mind on Krishna, because the mind is so restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong, and it's very difficult to curb the restless mind. As Arjuna told Krishna, as Krishna also agreed that it is undoubtedly difficult to control the restless mind. But without controlling the mind, we cannot go to Krishna. We cannot go to, we cannot achieve the status of yoga. So that's why here we are studying in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly about how to control them. Very clear procedure. step-by-step instructions we should follow in our life. We need to follow every day. We need to focus. We need to understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, understand all the instructions given by Krishna, and follow each and every instruction completely in our life. Then we will be able to go to Krishna's well, Goloka. So that's why we are extremely very fortunate to get this knowledge, and we are studying, we are understanding, and definitely by Krishna's mercy we will be able to go to Goloka. But the question is that whether is it going to happen in this life or not. What happens if we don't achieve the complete control over our mind? If we don't achieve the status of yoga in this life, what is going to happen to us? That is the question here. We know from Bhagavad Gita very well in all these slokas in the 6th chapter, it is very important to control the mind, and without control, it is also very difficult to control the mind, and it's very important to control the mind. And if we don't control the mind, we cannot get rid of this material bondage, material wealth. So now, how to achieve that? So that's why Arjuna asked that question, that ayattihi sraddhayo peto yogachalitamanasaka aprapya yoga samsiddhim kamgatim Krishna gacchati. So for a person who deviated from this path, who couldn't control the mind, who attempted to control the mind, who had faith on this Bhagavad Gita and tried to control the mind, but he couldn't complete controlling the mind before dying, before leaving this world, so before leaving this body. So what is going to happen to him? Apradishto Mahabaho Vimuda Brahmanopati. That's what Arjuna is asking. Kachinno Bhaya Vibrashta Chinna Brahmaganashyati Apradishto Mahabago Vimudo Brahmanapati. So what is going to happen? So is he going to be completely lost? Is it going to be a complete failure for him in every sense, both materially and spiritually? Etanme samsayam Krishna chetumargasya asesataga tvadanyaga samsayasyasya chaitannaki upapatyade. That is my doubt, Krishna. So no one else other than you can clear this doubt. Etanme samsayam Krishna. That is my doubt, Krishna. Tvadanyaga samsayasyasya chaitannaki upapatyade. So that's why Arjuna, that's what Arjuna told Krishna, and Krishna is answering. So in the last 7 slokas, totally 8 slokas, Krishna is answering. So in the 6th chapter, in the sloka number 39, Arjuna finishes talking, and he asks that question. So then starting from the sloka number 40 onwards, Krishna is giving the clear explanation, clear answer to Arjuna, this important question. And so what we understand is that Krishna is saying that that person is not going to meet with any destruction. So Patanai Vehana Mutra Vinasagatasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschit Durgatim Tata Gacchati. So he is not going to meet with destruction. Whereas he goes to the planet where pious people live, and he will live there as if it is permanent, but at the end he will come back to this material world. Prapya punya kritam lokan usitva saswati saman suchinam simatam gege yoga brashto abhijaya. So that kind of birth is very rare. So athava yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatham etaddi durlabhataram loke janmayade drisham. So either he will take birth in the pious and prosperous family, or he will take birth in the devotees family who have a lot of knowledge, who have so much of knowledge about Bhagavad Gita, about going back to Krishna's world. So that kind of birth is very rare. Etaddi durlabhataram loke janma yadidrisham. So then he will endeavor from there. Tatratam buddhi samyogam lavate paurvadehikam yatate chattato bhuyaga samsiddhau kurunandana. So he will gain whatever he had in his previous life in this earth, paurvadehikam. In his previous body, whatever consciousness, whatever buddhi, whatever intelligence he had, he will gain back exactly the same thing. So we don't lose even a single bit. Whatever progress we are making right now, we are studying Bhagavad Gita now. Every day we are very sincere, very serious, and we are studying Bhagavad Gita, and we are understanding all these slokas in Bhagavad Gita, and we are making great progress. And whatever progress we make, we are not going to lose them. We are not at all going to lose them. It is going to give, Krishna will again give it back to us. So that's why tatratam buddhisam yogam labate paurvadehikam yatatecha tato bhuyaga samsiddhau kurunanda. So you'll again endeavor for perfection. That's what will happen. Puvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate avasopi saga jijnasurapi yogasya sapta brahmati vartate. So by his past practice, Purva Abhyasena, by his past practice, he will be automatically, he will be inclined, he will be attracted to this devotional process, and then he will continue. So he will continue. That's what Krishna is teaching us that Purva Abhyasena teneva griyate avasopi sagam. Then he will be inquisitive, Jijnasurapi yogasya. Then again he will put attempts, efforts. प्रयत्नात्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्ध किल्बिसग अनेक जन्म संसिद्धग ततो याति पराम गति. So by putting such constant efforts, so he will, after the end of many births, after achieving the complete purification, complete perfection, he will come to me. Tato yati param gati. He will attain the supreme destination. Then in the last sloka we studied, in the sloka number 46, in the last class we studied, tapasvibhyo diko yogi jnanibhyo pimato dikagam karmibhyascha diko yogi tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. So yogi is higher than the people who just do austerities. Tapasvibhyo, tapasvibhyo adiko yogi. Jnanibhyopi matodikagam is above the jnani who just have the knowledge, who is not practicing but just have the knowledge, or who is just undergoing austerities. So he is above all those things. Tapasvibhyo diko yogi, jnanibhyopi matodikagam, karmibhyascha diko yogi. So he is above the karmi, who is attached to the fruitive works, fruitive results. Tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. Therefore you become a yogi. That's why Krishna is asking all of us. When he says that bhava Arjuna, so in that Arjuna, we should just replace and put all our names, all our individual names. So Tasmat Yogi Bhavo Arjuna. So Tasmat Yogi Bhavo, our name. Tasmat. So the next sloka, the last sloka, the sloka number 47 in the 6th chapter, Krishna is teaching us that Yoginam api sarvesam Matgatenantaratmana Sraddhavan bhajate yo mam Sameyukta tamo mataha. Sameyukta tamo mataha. That's what Krishna is saying. Yoginam api sarvesham. Of all the yogis. Yoginam api sarvesham means of all the yogis. Yoginam api sarvesham. Matgatena antaratmanagam. Those who keep me as his destination and within his mind, within his self. So keep me. So that's what Matgatena Antaratmana. Sraddhaman bhajate yomam. So with faith, worships me with faith. Sraddhaman bhajate yomam. Sraddhaman bhajate yomam. So mam, bhajate mam. So yo means those who worship me with faith. That's what Sraddhavan bhajate yomam. Those who worship me with faith. So those yogis who actually, yoginam api sarvesam, of all the yogis who completely dedicates his life unto me. Madgatena antaratmana Sraddhavan bhajate yomam sameyukta tamo mataha. So I consider him to be the most perfect yogi. That's what sameyukta tamo mataha. So me mataha means my opinion. So I am considering. So him I am considering that person to be the yukta tamo. Yukta tamo means the most perfect yogi. So he is completely engaged. He is right. He is in the right direction. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So our end goal is Krishna only. Nothing else. We should always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. We should do everything for Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. He is everything for us. That's it. Nothing else. Only Krishna. Krishna is everything. So if we keep like that way, if we worship Krishna, if we serve Krishna, if we do everything for Krishna, so that's what we are supposed to do. So by Krishna's mercy, we have so much faith on Krishna, that Shraddha. Many times Krishna is using the word Shraddha here. So now we have so much faith on Krishna. So Krishna is going to give us all the facilities, all the resources, what all we need to get rid of this material bondage, material wealth. We don't want to struggle and suffer in this material wealth. That's why Krishna is repeatedly asking in Bhagavad Gita, you come to me like that. So definitely we are going to go to Krishna, as I said many times in the past, in the previous classes, only we don't know when. It all depends upon how sincere we are now. So how effectively we use this life, this opportunity now. So depending on that, we will make a progress. So by Krishna's mercy, causeless mercy, we finished the sloka number 47. So that means we finished the 6th chapter very completely. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll start the 7th chapter by Krishna's mercy. So this is another success. So as I always say that when we finish some chapter, it's not that we finished the chapter. Now we studied, but Bhagavad Gita can never be finished. Bhagavad Gita is the source of energies. The Bhagavad Gita is the food for the soul. Bhagavad Gita is because all those words, because it's not simply words, it's songs. All those songs, it's Gita. Gita is coming from Krishna, Bhagavan, Bhagavad Gita. Our Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of God, Sri Krishna, he's singing. So it's the song of God, song of Krishna. So this we should always listen. We should keep on studying. So that's what, then only we will be able to realize, we will be able to remember Krishna. So by studying Bhagavad Gita, one of the best way to remember Krishna is actually studying Bhagavad Gita. When we study Bhagavad Gita, when we read the slokas, when we understand, when we recite the slokas, so we are remembering Krishna. We are connected with Krishna. So I will stop now and we will discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Satish, Hare Krishna, you could understand.